Great and beautiful morning and evening to you all, wherever you are joining me at this hour. Welcome to 563 edition of Invest Data Trading Academy live with Ambrose. Yes, I'll tell you that the market at global scene remain mixed as to speak. This is a full trading week. We've entered the first trading day of after crossing the mid month of November, the 11th month of the year. As the year 2025 is gradually winding down, and market I've started repositioning, looking for value, revaluating a portfolio, and all is ongoing now as we speak in the market as the year is gradually winding down. I'm not surprised that we can see that the global scene market is still very, very much mixed. We look at what is happening in Asia at this moment. Asia market is still looking southward as we are seeing that some macroeconomic data that are coming out from most of the big economy in that region are not looking good, especially the GDP figure that came from Japan that was down by almost 1.8%. That also is a concern as we speak. That also tells you that the impact of tariff and also the export that is also dwindling. All these are reflected on that economy. But as we speak, the market in that region is not really declining as the figure we report. I can see that there has a limited decline this hour, but still in red as we speak, but not massive. I mean, but if you look at what is happening in China and also look at Chinese market, anyone you want to call it, the market there remain a bit dicey. As also we're seeing that the tech companies are the one leading toward the negative decline because revaluation of tech company has also all eyes and all on Nineveh what earnings. These are the things that also we're seeing in the market as we speak. As markets also going in the south in that region, you know what I mean, in China. Even also if you also look at the figure that came last week as terms of economic activities of China, I see that it's still struggling. It has taken them a long way to come out from what deflation or what I call it and all that. We're seeing that the economy is still struggling. But I believe that all this also playing out. Also, we saw that nearly all the markets in that region are in the red. But one thing that was seeing some marginal gain in few of those countries there. But as we speak, we're seeing that oil price is also looking down, which also the reflection of Russia opening also is one of its export port, and that also kind of relief stress of shortage supply, and that also we're seeing that oil price has also going to look southward as a operation resume in one of Russia export export zone. These are the things we are seeing this market, but I believe that also we are seeing that as markets are expecting to see data coming from US after they've signed their bill and also for spending and also government have resumed. These are the things also we are looking at. But I'll tell you that in this Asia and Europe, we are seeing market going in the south. But if you look at also in Europe, despite we are seeing positive number that are coming from macro, most of the companies, the blue chip company in that zone, but as we concern, of this data that was, but also people are also playing safe in that region. But I tell you that value is the engine there, as we are seeing most of our companies there have released impressive number, and that is what is guiding investors in that market as we speak. But investors also are playing with caution. It's very, very important that, like I said, as years winding down, most of them are also taking position where they see also there is value, and these are the things that also is guiding investors in that domain. But if you go and see what is happening in US, even as US expecting an inflow of what of data that will also guide investors in decision, the market there is looking up, and also as government also look at prices of commodities have gone up within the close period of this no more than 40 days of the shutdown of government. That also is a concern. And also if you want food, you don't forget that also we expect all this as government try to look into it in but as we speak, US market is in green. And in all the matured market in Europe, in Asia, the USA market is mixed. But I think that the US market is looking up in the green. For me, it's a good news for US. And also we expect that now government is back to spend. That will also provide liquidity and also kind of more data to guide investors for decision. Don't forget that we need all this data as investors. Also, they need us to make what informed investment decision, especially as the year is winding down And also, don't forget that I've mentioned it earlier, as we're expecting to see one of the big tech companies releasing their number, and also that also will influence where the direction. But generally, the valuation concern for tech companies has also weighed most of the market, matured market as we speak right away. And that is why investors must also pay attention to all this. And I believe that it's a temporary thing. Once the more data come, it will give me more information on where the investors should be looking at in that regard. And that's why anywhere you are trading, understanding what is happening in your domain and also paying attention to this data to guide you, is very, very important that no investor in any way want to ignore economic data and also company numbers, because it tells you what face and what next. And if you are seeing positive numbers, it gives you information. When you are seeing negative numbers, that's why you must understand what you are doing in the market anytime, any day. And also we'll come back to look at the topic for today before I continue to look at what is happening in Africa market. Well, Africa market is quite mixed this morning, but we're looking at trade with stability on the NGX. We're seeing oscillation happening there. We're seeing a trend up and down. But as a trader, when you trade with stability, when you stay with confidence, when you trade with understanding, I'll tell you that you won't panic out of your position. We're coming back to discuss that today, but let's continue with market information. African market are mixed, and that of we have seen a Kenyan market also in light green. We've seen that of South Africa, even Mozambique. We have seen this market also oscillating. But as we speak now, Nigeria market is also flat right now. Trying to decline already in red, marginally in red as we speak. If you look at the chart here, because that's what we speak for Nigeria market, but that's the chart we are displayed here. Look at the chart here, you can see that market is still struggling to take out the 1 day dip. You can see even the recovery for 3 days unable, but as we speak, there's no cause for alarm. Market try to stabilize, and as it gather more strength, we'll see market returning. And also we're going into the month of December, where we're likely to see. But one thing that why you need to trade with stability, we'll come and discuss that one after we're looking at this market data, because it's very, very important. And that's why this topic today, you must also pay attention. Even though you made the class, you need to also look at it, because understanding the market and trading with focus, trading with confidence, stability will come when you realign your investment objective with the market trend or the market direction, and also what is happening around you. Also focusing on value, and others will help you to trade with stability in the market anytime, any day. But looking at the market data as to speak now, I think that the market is almost marginally flat as to speak. The market has opened at 146,828.38, and at a touch as high as 147,013.06. This is what the range of the market as to speak. But as to speak, market is also marginally down by 0.16%. That is almost, you can see the market is down by almost 0.2. But I can see that looking at in point, looking at in point, I see that the market is down by 239.16 basis points for me. The market, but if you look at market breadth or what called market internal, market breadth is still strong. It tells that the banking stocks that are investors are hitting with profit taking after 2 days or 3 days recovery. I see that they are the one win on the market, because if you look at market breadth is positive. We're having a 23 advancers or gainers right away, while we have 12 decliner or sellers in the market as we speak. But good in the market, investors are still taking position in the market, but volume are still not there. And that is that even at the market currently, volume is very, very important that we pay attention, so that it will help you to make informed investment decision. But on the trend of what is in the market, there's no cause for alarm. Market is trying to do what it's supposed to do at this point, trying to gather more strength and also look up again, because as all eyes are things that was especially looking at to see what the figure for October inflation or consumer price index will look like. But let's go back to our topic today. We're looking at to trade with with stability on the NGX amidst oscillating a trend in the market. You must understand that for you to really trade with stability, you need to realign your investment objective and the market direction to know exactly what to do. Because if you didn't realign your investment goal, your objective, your trading plan with the market direction, you will also be going against the trend. That means you must understand what is happening in the market and also focus on what on the looking at stock that has that has value and also defensive stock to help you to play that market when you see the oscillating trend. But for you to stay safe, regardless of the time frame, whether you are looking at long term or short term, you must understand what is also the economy is doing. Is the economy kind of working separate from the market, or market trading kind of opposite of the of the economic activities as we speak? We are seeing positive market indicators or positive market data, and that also align with what with the earnings we are seeing, and also prices of stocks are still looking up. That means the pullback we have just seen, or the panic out I said, because of on the government tax coming, or kind of uncleared government policy in terms of tax of capital gain. All these are still what is also weighing on the market. But good news that the market is trying to rebound. But you must also know how will I survive in this market, to know exactly what to do. Are you taking the 80 20 rules to trade the market? You also understand where I need to take calculated risk. You need to know also what are the political environment saying. Also look at what the economic stability, as I've said earlier, that will help you to build confidence to trade stably in the market. Because if you want to be stable, you must also go forward value and defensive stocks or companies that or sectors that will help you to stand the market oscillation is very, very important. But as we speak, don't forget that I've said in this class severally that the month of November, January, these 3 months are very important. As we speak, I would say that the seasonal trend that comes with the month of November has already been threatened with this panic selling, and also on clear direction of government in terms of fiscal policy concerning tax. These have also kind of threatened the seasonal trend for the month of November. Will that also affect December? But also we want to see all this. That is why you must understand what it takes for you to trade stable in any market is very, very important. For the sell-off that have occurred, also have given room for sell-off and also for position taking due to what these following reasons, or also expectation that also as we speak, don't forget that the external forces that threaten the market is still very, very much intact. It has not disappeared. Also, we have not seen clearly to what the government is doing. Another thing is that as we speak, even with the statement or comment from the economic managers, the Minister of Finance, even the CPN governor, the chairman committee on capital market, that yes, they need to review this capital gain tax to kind of stabilize the market at the same time that welcome capital to the economy. Whereas if you want to kind of wake up a lion, you have to take some strategy to do that. That is what if you have suspended 10% capital gain for a while, coming up to awaken it, going to 30 is, for me, it doesn't make any sense, and that have sent the market. Even as we speak, there are more clarity that the people championing, and the people also looking at, even the senators that have signed, they also look at it, what the framework of this thing is going to work is very, very important. That's why I said this has been out that if we are seeing that the external forces that threaten the market is still very, very important, and see that unclear capital gain tax policy of the government is still also remain in the dark and in the grey. I mean so because there are some steps or some data, some concerns that a market is all looking at. Those that are in position that are still in red or not before the 31st, are they going to causing their loss? How are they going to? Because we need to come out clearly, because government have come to say that their 31st date is the date for you to start canceling the application. For those that enter some situations, some stocks that they bought high, even as we speak now, those stocks are still selling almost 70 to 80% below the price they touched the year 2020, 2025. Then if we are at the close of 2025 and these stocks are yet to recover, what will be the fate of investor in that company? And then when it comes to 2026, how is the morale that it will tax will be placed on them? Or is there any avenue we have yet to see all that? Because if you are drawing a curtain that it will take from all the gains you have made in 2025 are that, are you thinking that all the losses also are going to be closed that date? Let's know. Because you say all the gains, new price, if new price enter a stock for 19 naira and the stock is now selling for 14 naira and year closed at 38, what are the loss occurred here? Who am I going to pay? I'm not going to recover my money. Especially if they borrowed fund, or can I pay tax on a loss in trade? These are the things that they have to come out for further clarity. That would also we are seeing as positive economic data, like I said earlier. This also indicated that yes, the economy and the market fundamentals still remain positive, as all eyes are still on October inflation figure. Worries are that yes, we have seen that PMI, PMS, which is a petroleum, product, especially fuel, as the price has gone up. Even with recent kind of court was sentenced of price by 15 naira in this month. But don't forget that in October we saw how the rate of that is going to affect inflation. That's also another worry in the market. But clarity will come as the figure also will be released in a moment from now for the market to know what has happened for the month of October. And also, yes, we saw some recent data that came from from CBN. As I said, some positive economic data in terms of positive marginal index for the month of October. Even when it's coming late, I'll give you some clue what has happened in that period. Another one is that the fear if rate will still remain unchanged, or will the rate also be cut in this month, as well as a policy meeting coming up any moment from now or next week. Also, this will give investors, these are the concerns I see there, but also market players overreacted to what, to volatility or sell off as a result of what the capital gain. You can see these are the things that also I said you must understand how to trade what you're in a stable market or steady world, trade with stability in oscillating market, realigning your work in your investment with the direction of the market, and also because refocus, because you need to really achieve much. That's why you are investing with confidence and also with knowledge, looking at the economic, looking at the market, or invest in the market with what political and economic stability to build what confidence. As we speak now, yes, even with the external threat, we are seeing that our political environment is still a bit stable. We are seeing peace there. Also, economic data are becoming positive. These are the things we pay attention to. Like I said, the strategy to trade, to trade for stable, the strategy for stable trading is one. You must also identify defensive stock as mentioned earlier, value stock. You know those stocks that also you must diversify your portfolio. It's very, very important. You must know the kind of stock that in your portfolio. Are you the type that's okay, out of my fund, I want to do 80-50, 80-20, let 80% of my fund be in value stock, while 20% will just be for trading short term. These are things that you also realign. One thing that also you must also invest in a stable market. Look at that. I'm going to talk about a broader world, economic and political environment that is stable in this area, that you can also good legal framework, you can see good governance, or you can see that policies are also attracting more investors because of what impact of that policy and sustainability of that policy. Also focus on what, on stability, not on volatility. Even yes, because you are doing what called, you are using what called stable trading strategy. For we that are trading volatility, we have a different strategy for volatility. But if you want to trade, with stability in a market that's oscillating, you must have all the strategy, so that you must be able also to navigate within that stability or that oscillating market to make money. That's why you have to realign your investment objective with what the market direction, and also value and defensive stocks also guide you in your decision anytime, any day. And that is how you can stay ahead of the market. You must invest with what, knowledge, and these are the things we continue to share in this platform to help you to make what your investment decision. Also, if you want to also do what we call stable trading, you also think that yes, positioning with what, with long-term investment perspective objective is also very, very important, and that also help you to look into what those stocks that has, like I said, defensive value, dividend paying, all it does for you to stay in that stock, and also you stay with confidence, and also navigate the whole thing that is happening in that market. And this is the way you should invest or go as to speak, especially as the years went on, and all eyes are still on what, on macro data to come into inflation, and also looking at to see what the month of November MPC meeting also come out with, because we need to see that rate cut should be the place to go to further feed fund to drive the economy, especially as we are seeing that our capital formation has already been started, with also seeing foreign investors, especially the portfolio investor, leaving or fear of what capital gain tax. That means we need also to think twice, and also align with other African countries that were seeing that rate cut is the intent now, or the way to go, because matured economy have done that to kind of revive their economy. We need to do something that we must have access to cheaper funds to drive what to drive growth and expansion. Even if you want to tax, the economy should be doing well before you start taxing the economy. We are not yet dead. We're only having a recovering economy. Let policy somersault not auto deflate the recovery we're seeing so far in the economy. But I believe that there's a lot of opportunity in the market. If you just settle down and watch and look at where to put your money, there's a lot of value in this market. And for those that are preparing already, that are paid for Invest 2026 that's coming up on the 6th of December, already with the pullback we're seeing, with the change we're seeing, with the valuation we're seeing in the market has presented an opportunity for those that are taking a 12 months perspective or decision for 2026, entering early ahead of a major event in terms of economic and also corporate activities that will shape in the year 2026. Even with big pre-election year, you need to also know how to position your portfolio so that as we expect to see increase in liquidity, it comes 2026, that you also benefit from it. And if this rate cut also continue, in 2026, how you're going to benefit from it. Already we have seen that there are some funds going back to fixed income market. How are they going to come back? If there's rate cut, in this month of November, it's fund going to come back. These are things that you position. Those companies have done well, that have also benefited from the government policy, as to speak. That is where you should also position yourself. If you see the volume in the market now, it shows that many people are still waiting, or many traders or investors or market players are waiting for clarity to know what to do. But because it's that it's the end of the year, they're also waiting to see how they can take advantage of end of the year activities that come with this market. Because don't forget that seasonality trend is what also, or seasonality is also what can also help you to make money in this kind of market, even though also other matured market as we speak. For me, there's no cause for alarm. We quickly look at what are the stocks that are leading the market now and look at their chart, and that is the way we'll wrap up the class for today. And I believe that yes, for those that are in the class, I've gotten something for today, that no matter the situation, how to trade with what stability. As you trade with stability in this oscillating market, you are about to be on the winning side if you hold on to the end and also follow the market as it goes, especially as market is struggling to take out what not happened on Tuesday. Immediately market will take that off, and also the outcome of MPC look positive, and also the expected consumer price index. This also puts more energy or momentum to the market as we speak. But like I just said, those stocks that are also leading the market, need to look at them and see what is happening in these stocks and position in them, and see the momentum that also we're seeing in this kind of stock is very, very important. We're seeing that more local stocks, more local stores and few blue chips coming are the one of the top gainer start, while the banking stock that has also weight are the one that is dominating on the user chart. Even as market breadth remain positive, we also keep our finger crossed and watch as we speak. But quickly look at some stocks that before that, let's look at what is happening in the market. Look at this chart. You can see here this market recovering. This is on Friday, but today you can see the market is relatively flat now. I'll tell you the market is trading at 146,840.98, below 147,000 mark of Cyberplan line. But I believe that anywhere from now, information that market will continue to the start movement or recovery, especially as we expect to see that afternoon traders also come to the market to position for the first trading week or the first trading day of the week. But quickly, as I said, if you look at the chart now, I want to call other indicators that we can also look at the sentiment and momentum and the psychology of players in the market right away. Quick one, call other indicators. Let's take our monthly first for momentum. We also look at our money flow, is very, very important. Also look at what our T line. Everybody in this class will know that our T line is part of our own strategy that we don't joke with. Our T line is what 8 days moving average exponential. Yes. On this note, look at what the index action is doing. Index action is also marginally below the T line. You can see it for yourself. Once there's a cross here, say the market has strength back. As we speak now, the market is relatively weak, even with the recovery we have seen all these days for the past 3 days. At this moment, can see. But also there's also indicator that things are getting better. If you look at also your histogram here, looking at your MACD is already turning up. Once you see MACD cross the red one, fine, but you can see that the market is ascending, it's ascending, not descending. Good signal, after you are descended from here, like nice ascending. Once it cross the signal line here, that was so. But good thing is that we are seeing money flow that on a day chart, on a daily chart has also gone below almost looking at almost approaching what is around below 30. Now it's coming up again this morning. You can see even when we're seeing a flat market right now, we're seeing that money. This is for just a day chart. We can quickly look at what is a 1 hour chart saying. That also give us a clear direction of the market. 1 hour chart say that market is also relatively bullish as we speak here, because the market is trading above the T line here, but flat on the T line, serious one. Any moment I can crawl down. Well, you can see that money flow on the 1 hour chart is looking down to reach 66. You can see it here. You can see that if you look at this, it is a candlesticks here, or what we call index candles here. You can see that most of them are in red, and that we are not surprised at seeing that money flow. So I've done looking down for almost the past 3 trading days here on a 1 hour chart. But people one can equally look at other time frame. Let's look at the 2 hours and finally 4 hours to look at something. On 2 hours chart, market is still pretty stable. You can see it here that it's trading above the T line. MACD has confirmed a bullish signal. You can see that it has crossed here. You can see the blue one crossing, which is also good. But money flow is relatively low. You can see that it's looking up to read the 31.7 31.70 as we speak. That is what on a 2 hours. We look at what is the 4 hours chart saying. It's also very good. 4 hours chart is saying also the market is relatively weak. Just as we have seen in a day chart, that market is below the T line, but once it crosses, fine. We're seeing that volume also is weak now, but money flow is looking up to see that fund is getting gradually after that gone below that 30. Good one for traders or investors in this market. You must understand how to navigate this to also flow with the market. Quick one, we have seen the market situation on different time frame. Let's look at some stocks that we have seen that also making price, especially the insurance stock. Let's look at the Prestige Assurance. What are we seeing in that Prestige? If Prestige is stock to who, a stock to watch, we need also to know. That is very, very important for investors to know. When you look at a stock like this, pay attention to them, give you a lot of insight to know what to do. Especially in this case, we're looking at insurance company capitalizing. Yes, you can see that on a 4 hour chart, you can see that the stock has crossed below the above the T line. You can see there's a can see this price action here. What is telling us? But you can see they try to go up from up down. But if you also look at the other indicators here, MACD is telling us yes, its price is changing. For money flow relatively low, you can see it going up here, and this for 4 hours. We can go for a day chart and see what is it reviewing proper for the stock. For the day chart, you can also see that the stock is giving a sign of buy on an oversold region, giving an advantage that one can take advantage of that stock at this cover price and position. You can see here we saw a good volume yesterday, but Friday was seeing relatively low. But on a 1 hour chart, the stock is really bullish. You can see it here. MACD is bullish on 1 hour. Money flow is also high. We can see that it has touched as high as 147 this morning. We can see it here. Let's say what's going to close the day as we speak. Is therefore very, very important, and as traders or investors, pay attention to this pattern. This pattern you are seeing in the market. A day chart telling us the stock is already looking up, and you also consider for investment objective. This is for Prestige. The another stock that we should pay attention. Let's look at what is happening in Wima Bank. Let's pay attention to that. What is happening in Wima Bank? You must pay attention to that. That will also help you to see what's seen that the first tier banks are dominating the user chart this morning. But you can see that if you look at the chart of Wima Bank, looking at the day chart, you can see that it has formed like a hammer here, try to resist decline, and it will go as low as come back to 1975 as we speak. And MACD is also looking to cross over on a day chart, which is good. And money flow is relatively flat, looking marginally at a 48 point something. For me, it's a good one for a day chart, but 1 hour chart will give us a clear direction one hour chart, almost the same pattern. Candlestick was in the price action, try to resist decline. You can see it here. Money flow is reading almost 91 on 1 hour chart, and MACD is just almost turning bearish, but as we speak, still lazy because it's trading above what the signal line as we speak. These are the things we pay attention for. Because of our time, we'll see what is happening to NACO. You can see if you can see what is happening in that regard. It's good to see what is happening in NACO. You can pay attention to that. We are seeing, those that are managing the company, accumulating is sent a signal for that stock. It tells you what the stock is set to do. You can see that the stock, as we speak now, that tested a signal line. We can see where it is around 146, one around the order 6 and one around the 679. This price for me is just a good one. MACD is still, on the 1 hour chart. You can see even when it is kind of descending to cross to come bearish, but it's still what positive now. Money flow is looking down to this, at least on 1 hour chart. But on a day chart, let's look at for a day chart what stock is showing us on a day chart. That was what we used to close the day. On the day chart, you can see that the stock has gone you can see that the stock is strong above the T line, and also even with pulling back here from 1010 and 108, it's still playing around 106. Good one at this time as we speak. I can see that the stock, the indicators, MACD is also looking up. Like I said, once it crossed the red one up, and you can see that histogram is showing that momentum is coming back to the stock. After that pull back to 90, almost below 90, before you see it now, it's up again, crossing 100, and we're seeing that the strong support resistance level is around the 124. A breakout of this number also will tell you that the stock is going far. As we speak, I think it's a good stock to buy. I can see that still at the oversold region. Looking at money flow, that's also below 30 right now as we speak. On this note, I will say thank you and see you on Wednesday, hopefully by God. Bye.